What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Deverell YouTube channel. We're back with another freshman spotlight. So what we do is we like to spotlight some freshmen that perform well, or just kind of give you guys an idea of some freshmen that are up and coming. Who is next? Now, like we've talked about on this channel, though, the freshman class is struggling right now. Not a lot of quarterbacks getting opportunities. Zachariah Branch is out there as a wide receiver. We've talked about, Dante Moore plenty of times. So we're going to look at a couple wide receivers and a running back today that have actually, produced a little bit, but have a shot at being the next guy up. So we're going to go through three freshmen who are having a very good year. We're going to talk about maybe what they could have their impact going forward. So if you like college football, if you're looking for those next guys up in your fantasy leagues for Devy or college football, hang on to this channel, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll dive into them on the other side. All right, so let's get into some freshman spotlights. And I like these because you never quite know, who is popping off, who's going to be there, that next guy up. And in a class that, doesn't have necessarily the top guys yet actually performing, who are some guys that are stepping up? So we got to go Colorado freshman running back Dylan Edwards. Now, Dylan Edwards is a smaller running back, right? 5'9", 170. So when we're projecting for like NFL, I don't necessarily think we're doing that with him. But what we are projecting is a playmaker and a kid that's really had a pretty good start to this year, right? Colorado's off to a great start, 3-0. They look good from that size. As far as the season goes, so here's his PFF numbers by the season: 78 yards after contact. So we're going to see that, he's not the biggest guy, but I do think, when you're looking at, missed tackles forced have been okay with 4. Explosive runs at 5 is really good. So when we're thinking of explosive runs, that's a pretty good shot there. And in elusive rating, 72.0, not bad. I think what makes him really good and what he's elevated that Colorado offense for, especially now that Travis Hunter is out for the next few weeks, is his receiving ability, right? 14 catches, 160 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Edwards is really just a playmaker. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, you have to be, really high on him. Now, his big game in the receiving category came against TCU, 5 catches, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's kind of struggled past that. He did have 6 catches against Colorado State, but not a ton of yards. So we have seen that little freshman dip. You always see those freshmen kind of struggle a little bit in that area, but I do think that he is someone to highlight. I do think that moving forward, as they get in the Pac-12 play, Edwards has to step up for this offense. If Hunter's out for an extended period of time, that's going to be the big one for them. Like, that's going to be the hey, can he kind of step up and kind of lead this offense and this backfield really as a freshman? But shout out to him for what he's been able to do out in that field. You have to give him credit. And for a guy that wasn't that highly touted coming out of high school, he's still a very good player. He was touted, but we're not talking about a top 5 guy. But now with the running back class, the way it looks, Edwards is someone to watch, especially for college fantasy. Next guy up, Eugene Wilson. And, shout out to Todd Vincent, FF League Winners, Debbie Ryder. He's fantastic. Follow him. He's one of the smartest guys I know. He was on Eugene Wilson really early. I was a big fan of him as well. So when you're looking at Eugene Wilson as just a prospect, you have to really like what you see there. He's done very good at Florida. He's what the NFL wants. So when you're thinking of like, okay, what stands out to you, about him as the NFL, he's going to play in the slot, but he's not just a slot guy. As you see, only 40% there, but he's going to create separation, right? And every week he's gotten better. So if we dive through the numbers here, his ADOT's not very high. So when we're thinking of where he's getting the ball, as you can see it there, it's behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to use him in that way. But as he gets better and as he gets more comfortable, he has improved. He's caught every ball thrown his way, 12 for 12. So his efficiency, reception percentage is up there. When you're looking at it overall, 12 catches, 104 yards. Each game's got better, right? First game against Utah, 2 for 24. The next game, McNeese State, 4 for 36. And then against the number 11 ranked Tennessee, 6 for 44, 7.3 average. So overhaul, he's doing really well. I love Eugene Wilson. I think that, when we're thinking of what NFL is trending to, Wilson fits that category. Now, he's between 170 and 180-ish, but we've seen this with Xavier Worthy. We've seen this with Antonio Williams. You've seen these with the wide receivers. He is the biggest riser of this freshman class wide receiver crew right now, right? When we're thinking of guys who just haven't seen the field, Eugene Wilson has, and I think that he's going to be their guy down the stretch in the SEC. If Florida can continue to win, they take this Tennessee win and they keep going with this, I think Eugene Wilson is going to be a name that you need to watch. So shout out Eugene Wilson for kind of stepping up, being that guy in that offense. And in Devy, he's definitely, if you drafted him, he's returning, because I think that he'll be a second round pick next year, probably, if his season trends the right way. But even if he's not, you still got him for way cheaper. He was going way under that in terms of that. He wasn't even going to top 5 rounds. So if you drafted him, if you have him on there, if you didn't, he's someone to watch, right? But you're going to get increased value and that production back. And then the third guy I want to talk about is Carnell Tate. As much as I hate talking about Ohio State wide receivers, I mean, he's a stud. And I think the thing with Tate is just kind of like what some of these freshman wide receivers. We saw JSN slow play, Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Garrett Wilson. A lot of these freshman wide receivers for Ohio State don't produce at all. He's already started producing, and they've talked about him being the next Marvin Harrison Jr. That's how talented they love Carnell Tate. You know, thinking of his ADOT at 17.5, reception percentage, 4 for 8 for targets to receptions. And not amazing, but I mean, again, some of those are the catchable balls. There's a few things in there. And then, you know, wide percentage, he's out wide, right? So when we're thinking of what he's going to play, he's Marvin Harrison Jr.'s replacement next year. And when you think of it like that, if he can step up in this offense and do anything, right? 4 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown already for a freshman, a true freshman in the system, is kind of unheard of, especially in the day area. We haven't seen this. And I think that just goes to show you how talented he is. They want to get him on the field as he progresses, right? He had 2 catches, 40 yards, a touchdown against Western Kentucky. I do think he's going to get in a little bit more during the Big Ten, role. I think he's going to have a role. I don't know how big that role is going to be, but it would not shock me to see him down the stretch against Penn State, Michigan, some of these better teams, for him to play a role, to actually be an impact player. So Carnell Tate, we could be talking about Carnell Tate being a late first-round pick next year in Devy, or mid-second, and you have to give him a shout-out for what he's doing on the field. So those are our freshman risers. Again, not a ton of freshmen are really like popping up. It takes me some time to kind of go through these guys. Let me know in the comments. Do you think any other freshmen out there are some people I want to highlight? I do know Cedric Baxter from Texas is getting a little of a run, but we're talking production rise. We haven't really seen it. So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Are there any freshmen out there that you want me to dive into, look at their PFF numbers, and kind of go from there? So appreciate you guys tuning in on this quick little video. Again, follow me at DuBois_22. Follow this channel for all your college football, fantasy, and just in general NFL news, notes, and videos. So appreciate you guys. Check you guys next time.